That Wrestling Dude. Reviews. Original content. Highlights.
What is going on, guys? Thank you for checking out This Week in NXT. I am That Wrestling Dude, here to recap the tremendous week that was NXT. Wow, holy shit, the news coming in that WWE has signed free agent Stephanie Vaquer. Wow. Don't even know how this happened. Didn't even know that she was on their radar. Completely thought her going to AEW was a done deal. I saw the graphics that she was all elite. Her being on Forbidden Door against Mercedes Moné. TK had the checkbook ready to go. So it's a very odd situation. I haven't heard anything or any news linking WWE or indicating any interest in her. So the news that suddenly she was already signed on Monday was very strange. She also canceled her dates, her final dates with CMLL and New Japan, so they were very upset about that. So she's got a little bit of heat just the way she did that. So very strange how that came about. Anyways, that is just the cherry on top of the week that was NXT, because Heatwave was incredible, unreal. Matches 1 through 5 were electric. I was out of my seat throughout the evening. Even the matches that I thought were going to absolutely suck and I had zero interest going in were incredible. The Axiom Nathan Frazier tag team title defense against Chase U was just awesome. Definitely unexpected. I'm sure everybody was taken by surprise, thinking that, Axiom and Frazier would lose it, since, Nathan Frazier was not focused on the tag team titles and had a lot of things going on, even showing up late to the PLE. So Axiom was getting ready to go out there and defend by himself. So very surprised that they won it, but it was a tremendous match and they earned some points from me. Lola Vice, Roxanne Perez was incredible. Wasn't sure if Lola Vice was ready for this stage, and holy shit, that match was awesome. Even with Lola losing, she looked very strong. Roxanne looked very strong. So just kudos, great match all around, great booking. Main event, I think the right call was made. We definitely needed a change in champion because I just wasn't feeling this Trick Williams run. It's more the promos. He's not believable. I feel like he's not ready in the ring as well. I know NXT is developmental, but their champion is typically ahead of the game and not the guy that gets carried in most of his matches. In the Fatal 4-Way at Heatwave, he was the fourth best guy out there. Young OG came out and he looked incredible. That boy was bouncy. Electric. He brought some great spots and great athleticism to that match. Then you have the veterans, Shawn Spears, you have Ethan Page. It was a great match, and even the way they did it was perfect. They made Trick still look strong as he was not pinned. He was prevented from breaking up the pin by Shawn Spears, and he actually created the pin because he hit the trick knee on Young OG, followed by a trick knee on Ethan Page, knocking Ethan Page on top of Young OG. So it was just a cool way to change the championship, give it to a really good heel champion, really good promo, very believable champion. So I feel like the era of Ego is going to be awesome. We started off this episode of NXT with Ethan Page coming out and announcing that it only took 6 weeks for him to take the title and become the face of NXT, and now it is the era of ego. So very excited to look forward to this. This is a beginning of something new with NXT. I feel like with the partnership with TNA, Ethan Page coming in, getting signed, maybe even the Motor City Machine Guns, that would be insanity. You have Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, like we were talking about, on the horizon, and the already stacked women's division. I really love what NXT has going on, especially going into changing channels, going to the WB very shortly. So they're ready to go, and I think it's going to be electric. Shortly into his promo, Oro Mensah comes in trying to get after Mr. Page and is stopped and carried out by security. Out comes Trick Williams demanding his rematch tonight. Ethan Page cordially denies that request, and that brings out Shawn Spears and then brings out Young OG. It looks like it's going to be a tag team match for the main event, Trick Williams and Young OG versus Ethan Page and Shawn Spears, or so we think. Now we have the Brooks Jensen saga continuing in Ava's office. It seems like they were about to release him, but he was vouched for. And Ava and Mr. HBK, Chef Shawn Michaels, decided to give him another chance. Brooks Jensen vowed to Ava that he would make an impact, and he certainly did. Holy shit, this guy comes out and takes out Young OG. So Young OG is now out of the main event. Now Trick Williams knows he has to find a tag team partner. As he was actually doing this interview, you see the flicker of the TV in the background. And of course, it is that guy. So even from the PLE at the end of Heatwave, we saw also Joe Hendry at that moment. So it was kind of a tease, but we were expecting him to be there on Tuesday. Next, you had Carmen Petrovic versus Ariana Grace. Nothing much here. It was a very quick match. Carmen Petrovic did get the win, but she was subsequently attacked by Fallon Henley. Also at the ring was JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, keeping an eye on things. Once Fallon Henley attacked Carmen Petrovic, she went out of the ring and stated she is tired of these rookies, to JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. So it looks like they're going to kind of form a little trio faction there, maybe a new kind of toxic attraction kind of thing. We'll see. And we had a little bit more confirmation of that later in the evening. We have the Heritage Cup on the line. The Dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, taking on Lexis King. Up in the DJ booth on the ones and twos is Eddie Thorpe. Pretty comical, very funny. Eddie Thorpe was getting under Lexis King's skin, playing some EDM during the breaks of the rounds of the Heritage Cup match. So pretty funny, very comical. Definitely think the rivalry with Eddie Thorpe and Lexis King will be funny. It could be a good one, but we don't know because Lexis King has just been losing and losing and losing. So it's kind of hard to take him seriously. He's starting to become a comedy act, and I think he needs to get some victories here and start getting the ball rolling, just so he can have some credibility. So I guess the no quarter catch crew gimmick is killing a member and dumping the body. Damon Kemp released, and they had the little skit where they had the body in the trunk, and Ren Sinclair claimed that she saw nothing. Pretty funny how this is the second time Drew Gulak #1 and Damon Kemp now. So, okay, moving on. Now we have Wesley heading to the ring for his crybaby promo about what's next. What do I do? I lost to Oba. Oba's big. He kicked my butt. That was pretty awesome, that toss that he did. He must have been at least like 20 feet in the air. That was ridiculous. Anyways, we just kind of knew this was coming. We've been anticipating this ever since the TNA relationship was formed with NXT. We were waiting for this Rascals reunion. Now that it was possible with this TNA relationship, we thought it was going to happen a few weeks back when Gallus was messing with Wes Lee, and Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne ended up being his tag partners there. So they kind of threw us off the scent there, but we knew something was afoot. That music hit, and the pop was incredible. MSK back to help this piss poor tag division, and the Rascals will have a 3-on-3 match against Gallus, the one that we've actually been waiting for. So that would be a great match, something that we've been anticipating, something we're looking forward to, seeing the Rascals on NXT TV. I must say, though, even though we were anticipating it, there was still that if, just because of the previous allegations regarding Zachary Wentz, who was also, aka Carter Nash, back in NXT with MSK. So thank God, things have cleared up over time, and we've gotten, more insight into what really happened, and I'm glad that there is forgiveness here, and he was able to have this moment, because I'm sure it was very special for him, and very special for Wes Lee and Trey Miguel. Rascals reunion, here we go, buckle up. Up next, you had Thea Hale and Chase U versus Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame taking the loss here via submission. Thea Hale getting the victory. Ridge Holland spoke to Ava and actually got Thea Hale a women's title match against the prodigy Roxanne Perez with a victory against Izzy Dame. So that match will take place next week. We also have Ridge Holland getting a match for Duke Hudson, an opportunity at the North American title. Bafemi came out and had a back and forth with Duke Hudson, setting that up for next week as well. So Chase U looks like they're getting the fast track. They have a couple of title opportunities. We'll see how that goes with their storyline. Another notable from this match was Tatum Paxley coming out and keeping an eye on Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame was very frustrated and attacked Tatum Paxley. However, she missed hitting the pole. So that contributed to her loss. So that will be another storyline to keep track of. Also, we saw a backstage shot from Anonymous showing Tatum Paxley drop a toy, and then Wendy Chu coming to pick it up. So it looks like something is happening between Tatum Paxley, Wendy Chu. That's going to be cool. A diabolical duo. I'm all for it. And the episode keeps on going. There was a lot crammed in on this episode in this short 2 hours. Definitely you could see that a lot of things were rushed. A lot of things were not able to breathe, like that Ariana Grace Carmen Petrovic match. I would even say this next match, OTM and the OC, that one was kind of short, quick one. Another loss for the OC. OTM getting the victory. It looked like this was more for furthering the Michin and Jada Parker saga. Michin came running through the crowd and attacked Jada Parker. The officials came out and a melee ensued. So that street fight was awesome, and it looks like they are not finished. Up next in this action-packed episode, you had Sol Ruka versus Fallon Henley. As I stated before, we were kind of seeing the beginning of a new trio faction in the women's division with Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, and JC Jane. Looks like JC Jane would kind of be the leader of that, dashing JC Jane with Cody's mask. And Sol Ruka seemed to have the match pretty much under control. Went for the pin and was stopped by JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, who interfered to prevent the pin. So again, it looks like this trio is coming together and is going to be a new faction, a new force in the NXT women's division. And we have another backstage segment here with Ava, Mr. Stone, and Stevie Turner. It looks like Ashante, the Adonis, and Cedric Alexander are headed back to NXT. Good for them. This will give them definitely an opportunity to showcase what they got and maybe revitalize their career and show them why they were signed in the first place. And finally, it is time for the main event of the evening. We have the mystery partner. So we had Paige and Sean Spears coming out first, Trick Williams, and then where I was sitting from the vantage point, I saw him run out before anybody else did. So Joe Hendry was the special partner, just as we expected. So the pop was incredible. Everyone got to see him for the first time at the PC in an actual match. He was there previously with the Battle Royal, but was eliminated pretty much instantly. So we didn't get to see what he's got. Pretty good reaction from the crowd. They definitely took to him, and he can definitely be an impact player in NXT. We'll see what they have in store. I know they want to have him involved heavily in NXT going forward. Him just having that ability to go viral just by showing his face that incredible theme song. So Joe Hendry and Trick Williams ended up getting the victory there, and it was a pretty solid episode. At the end of the episode here, you see Trick Williams trying to get Joe Hendry to dance there, and he just wasn't feeling it. So good for you, Joe, staying strong. Anyways, pretty good episode, I would say. A nice rebound episode for sure. The go home one last week was a little stale, but Heatwave was fire. This last episode on Tuesday was fire. It's also pretty incredible. I got to see Oro Mensah before the show, signing my Metaphor sign here. I still have 3 to go. The week previously, I've completely forgot to get my Lola sign over here signed. We finally got to meet her before the show. Of course, that was the week that I was looking like freaking Dom Mysterio. Absolutely just karma. Absolutely just poetic that this is the one week that we finally get to see to meet Lola. But the awesome part was we were finally able to give her the signs that we made for her, and she really appreciated it, and it was just awesome. So thank you for joining me for this week in NXT. We will be back next week for some more shenanigans. I cannot wait to see what we have in store. Chef Michaels has in store for us next week. He's been cooking just delicacy after delicacy. I mean, 5-star Michelin. Oh man, the cuisine is incredible. I love it. I love being able to just be there and witness this stuff live. And we will be back. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the video. Please make sure you subscribe. If you did enjoy the video, like that puppy, and we will be back next week.